everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. So, this video recording, coincidences, synchronicity, do you believe in it? So, a few years ago, I read a book by Colin Wilson called The Occult. I'm a huge Colin Wilson fan, by the way. He died, I guess, about 4 or 5 years ago. Lived a long life, whatever. But anyway, Colin Wilson, his first book was The Outsider, famous book, Outsiders. But anyway, I believe in the 70s, was it, or 80s, he wrote a book on the occult. And it was somewhat controversial because Colin Wilson is this philosopher. He's a well-respected intellectual in some circles at the time. I mean, even though he's done a lot of kind of macabre stuff, you know, like the history of murder and all that. But anyway, the occult. And by the way, Colin Wilson explains in his introduction, like, I'm a little skeptical, but you know what? Let me do this. And it turns out, after all his research, he goes, I am in. I totally believe in this. So, okay. I'm skeptical myself. I'm basically skeptical by nature, but I'm an open-minded person. So, about 45 minutes ago, where is this? Okay. All right. I'm reading this book right here. Masterpieces of World Philosophy. All right. So, I opened the book, and the first book they're discussing is, or actually it's the second book, but Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Bhagavad Gita. And I read, and I always carry a pen. I take notes and all this, and that's the type of reader I am. I always have a pen in my hand, and you know, I'm always scribbling notes here. And I'm like 1 page, 2, and I'm like, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to listen to a podcast, right? So I pick up my phone, Joe Rogan, and by the way, I was excited to see Malcolm Gladwell's podcast he did yesterday, but I'm a little behind. And before that was Donnell, what's his name? Donnell Rawlings, and there's a rapper, RZA, I don't know who he is. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to relax and maybe have a couple of laughs and listen to this. So I turn this on, 4 minutes in. Now listen.
Said as he talked to us, you know, he don't talk to himself, but then after he was finished talking to himself for 44 minutes, he felt a weight come off him.
I was, son.
But there's a scripture on that, bro.
What is it?
The scripture is in the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Is that the Quran?
No.
I don't know.
I know the Quran is the Quran.
All right. I just need to know.
So the Bhagavad Gita means the song of God. Just put G-I-T-A, Gita. The Gita, right, is actually the words of Krishna. And he says contemplation with yourself, which is talking with yourself, will take you further than praying. Ooh.
Okay, so the point is,
But man is not contemplating.
what are the odds? It's a coincidence. Like, when was the last time you heard someone talk about the Bhagavad Gita? Unless you're really into this stuff. Like, I talked to my wife, Madeline, and I go, you know what? I just was reading this. I go, I wanted to listen to podcasts, and all of a sudden I hear this. What are the odds? And it's like, this is a rapper. I mean, like, it's not like it's a podcast on theology or world religions or comparative religions. That's a coincidence. So what do you think? My wife Madeline said someone's tapping on your shoulder. Okay. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.